Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Let's Learn with AI. Since it's afternoon here, if you are watching this video at afternoon time, so good afternoon to you as well. Otherwise, good morning, good evening, whatever time you are watching this video. Today's topic is related to US history. The Declaration of Independence, which was represented by Thomas Jefferson, the action of Second Continental Congress means what was the action of the Second Continental Congress. So the most important topic, and in this topic we are going to discuss these important topics: Thomas Jefferson's biography, what is Continental Congress, who presented the Declaration of Independence, representatives, the Declaration of Independence, summary, and at the last we will deal with the themes of the Declaration of Independence. So let's get started. The first one is Thomas Jefferson's biography. Who was Thomas Jefferson? Thomas Jefferson from 1743 to 1826 was an American statesman, lawyer, diplomat, philosopher, and founding father of the United States. He is best known for his role as the primary author of the Declaration of Independence, which declared the 13 American colonies to be free and independent states, no longer under British rule. Jefferson was born in Virginia and educated at the College of William and Mary. He served in the Virginia House of Burgesses and the Continental Congress, where he drafted the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson went on to serve as the first Secretary of State under President George Washington, and later as the Vice President under John Adams. Meanwhile, in 1801, Jefferson was elected as the third President of the United States, serving 2 terms in office. And it is the most important point, like these kind of questions or these kind of points are usually included in MCQs, that who was the third President of US. So your answer should be the third President of the United States was Thomas Jefferson, and he served 2 terms in office. During his presidency, he oversaw the Louisiana Purchase, which doubled the size of the United States, and he also founded the University of Virginia. Jefferson was a strong proponent of democracy and individual rights, and he believed in limited government and the separation of powers. He was an advocate for religious freedom and the abolition of slavery, although he himself owned slaves throughout his life. Thomas Jefferson is considered one of the most influential figures in American history, and his ideas and writings have had a lasting impact on American politics as well as philosophy. And the second question, the most important question, that is, what is Continental Congress? The Continental Congress was a series of meetings held between 1774 and 1789, in which representatives from the 13 American colonies, means these 13 American colonies were in the hands of, and they were ruled by, Britishers, in which representatives from the 13 American colonies met to discuss their grievances and organize resistance against British rule. The Congress played a critical role in the lead up to the American Revolution and in the establishment of a new government after independence was declared. The first Continental Congress was convened in Philadelphia in September 1774 in response to the intolerable acts passed by the British Parliament. In response to the Boston Tea Party, delegates from 12 of the 13 colonies, Georgia did not attend. Georgia was also a member. Met to discuss a unified response to the British government's actions. The Congress issued a Declaration of Rights and Grievances, which outlined the colonists' objections to British politics. This was the first Continental Congress, and the second Continental Congress convened in May 1775 after the outbreak of hostilities at Lexington and Concord. The Congress assumed the role of a de facto national government, appointing Georgia Washington or George Washington as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, issuing paper currency and conducting diplomacy with foreign governments. The Congress also drafted and signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776, which declared the 13 colonies to be free and independent states. Means the 13 colonies which were in the hands of Britishers whom they were ruling, these 13 colonies were free at the 4th July 1776. The Continental Congress continued to meet throughout the Revolutionary War and played a critical role in organizing the war effort and maintaining the unity of the new United States of America. After the war, the Congress was replaced by the United States Congress, which was established by the new Constitution in 1789. And the third question you might have in your mind, that is, who presented the Declaration of Independence? Now there are many confusions that the important leader was at that time Thomas Jefferson. But the Declaration of Independence was not presented by a single individual, but rather it was a document that was adopted by the Continental Congress of the 13 American colonies on July 4th, 1776. The document was primarily written by Thomas Jefferson, but it was revised and added by the other members of the Continental Congress, including John Adams and Benjamin Franklin. After the declaration was adopted by the Continental Congress, it was printed and distributed throughout the colonies and sent to the British government. The Declaration of Independence declared the 13 American colonies to be free and independent states, no longer under British rule, and it is considered one of the most important documents in American history. The fourth question, that is representatives, means the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence was not presented by individuals, as I said earlier, but rather it was adopted by the Continental Congress, which was made up of representatives from the 13 American colonies. The Congress convened in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and was made up of delegates appointed by each colony's legislature. The delegates who attended the Second Continental Congress. We have already discussed that what is Continental Congress, what was First Continental Congress, what was Second Continental Congress. And like I say, the delegates who attended Second Continental Congress, which drafted and adopted the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776, included some of the most prominent figures in American history. Now, who were those? Like John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was from Virginia and the primary author of the Declaration. Roger Sherman, Robert R. Livingston, he was from New York. Richard Henry Lee, he was also from Virginia. John Hancock. These and other delegates worked together to draft the Declaration of Independence, which declared the 13 American colonies to be free and independent states, no longer under British rule. The document was then signed by the delegates and sent to the British government, marking the start of the American Revolution. Now, the fifth question, that is about summary. Now, we can't discuss this whole document, and it requires a huge amount, a huge time. So we will just go through the summary of the document. The Declaration of Independence was actually adopted on 4th July 1776. This document is a statesman adopted by the Continental Congress, which declared that the 13 American colonies regarded themselves as a new nation, the United States of America, and were no longer part of the British Empire. The declaration was primarily written by Thomas Jefferson, but it was edited and many ideas were included by the others also, such as John Adams, Franklin, and others. Although it was also influenced by ideas and feedback from other members of the Continental Congress. It is considered one of the most important documents in American history, as it laid out the principles of individual liberty, natural rights, and popular sovereignty that have guided the country's development and growth over the past 2 centuries. The Declaration of Independence also played a critical role in inspiring other nations around the world to fight for their own independence from colonial powers. Its impact can be seen in the French Revolution, which began just over a decade after the Declaration was adopted. The unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America, also known as the Declaration of Independence, was a document adopted by the Continental Congress on July 4, 1776. As I said earlier, the document declared the 13 American colonies to be independent states, no longer under British rule. The Declaration of Independence was primarily written by Thomas Jefferson, with input and revisions from other members of the Continental Congress. It begins with the famous words, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." So these were the important lines, the starting lines of the document. The document goes on to list the grievances of the colonists against the British government, including taxation without representation and the violation of basic human rights. The declaration concludes by formally declaring the colonies to be free and independent states, and calls upon all citizens to support the cause of independence. The signing of the Declaration of Independence marked a pivotal, important, essential moment in American history and is celebrated each year on July 4th as Independence Day. And the last question which we will deal, that is themes. So overall, you can also write themes, that what can be or what could be the themes of this document. The first theme which I want to discuss, that is natural rights. So natural rights, the Declaration of Independence proclaims that all people have certain unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These rights are not granted by the government but are inherent to every human being. The document also asserts that governments are instituted to secure these rights, and if they fail to do so, the people have the right to alter or abolish them. The second theme, that is consent of the governed. So the Declaration of Independence emphasized that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. This means that the people have the right to choose their leaders and to hold them accountable. The third theme, that is limited government. The Declaration of Independence expresses a belief in limited government. The document asserts that government should only exist to protect the rights of the people, and that it should not be allowed to become too powerful or oppressive. But as you know, nowadays there are many countries where government is like ruling forcefully. They are oppressive towards their masses or public. And the fourth important theme of the document, that is self-government. The Declaration of Independence asserts that people have the right to govern themselves. This means that the people should have a say in how they are governed and should be able to participate in the political process. And the last theme which we are having, that is revolution. The revolution theme, like the Declaration of Independence, asserts that the people have the right to revolute against an unjust government. This is a radical idea that was controversial at the time, but it has become a fundamental part of American political thought. Overall, the Declaration of Independence represents a commitment to the principles of freedom, democracy, and self-government. It is a testament to the ideals upon which the United States was founded and continues to be a source of inspiration for other or for people around the world who seek liberty and justice. So this was all about today's. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If this video has sparked your interest, I request you, suggest you to like, share, comment, and do subscribe to the channel. And if you have any question, you can ask in comment section. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.